Hey, it's Nick here, on the road, actually headed to go train. I wanted to share some thoughts with you while I was on the road. Something hit me. So, if there's one thing you notice about all of my posts and videos in the last few years, is unless I have scientific evidence, unless what I'm talking about has a pretty solid platform of science foundation, I'll preface the comment or the exercise description or the exercise demonstration, with we believe, or our performance university approach is, or we feel, or this is our favorite. Basically, that's me going out of my way to say, hey, this is an anecdotal claim, and the purpose of this video or this blog post or this article is me just sharing experiences. It's sharing the experiences that I've used, that employees, interns, people that have learned from us, that have taught us stuff, have used and cultivated. So the whole point of this is, it's quite okay to train and utilize concepts and techniques that aren't founded in evidence, that you have no evidence for. That's quite okay. And this is coming from somebody who, if you always check out my work, you know I'm always telling trainers to be skeptical, and one of the first questions to ask is, do you have evidence to support that claim? And that's the comment I always get. Well, you use anecdotes, you don't have evidence, you don't cite research in everything you say. No, I never said you couldn't ever do anything that doesn't have evidence. All that I recommend, all that I say, or all that I demand from myself and from employees and from students and from people who question myself is to intellectual honesty. So when you hear me say, hey, we believe this, or this is our favorite, or our approach, or we developed this, that's just me being intellectually honest and saying, hey, I've got no evidence for this, but I'm not trying to convince you that this is the truth. This is just me sharing my experiences, sharing something that we do, and if you want to experiment with it on your own, fine, but I won't try to convince you that it is the way to do it. Now, with that out of the way, I will, talking about intellectual honesty, I'll tell you that I wasn't intellectually honest with myself for probably the first few years that I started educating trainers. If you look at my earlier videos and some of my earlier articles, I definitely said stuff in more absolutes, or said things that are unjustified as if they were truth, or spoke my opinions as if they were fact, or just repeated something that I'd heard other coaches say for a while that I thought was right, but I said it as fact without any evidence. And looking back at that now, I would say that's complete BS. But that's called a growth process, and as I've grown, I've appreciated intellectual honesty more, and I try to share that. And when I do videos and when I do my articles, and that's what I also try to display for anybody else who is willing to, like yourself, who's willing to take the time to watch the videos and read the work. So anyway, that's the point. Number one, it's okay if you don't have evidence for every little thing that you do. Just be honest about it. That's the whole deal. Just say, hey, look, I don't have any evidence to support this. I like it. I feel like it works for myself and my clients and employees or whatever. And that's cool. The problem lies, I'm going to have a problem with it, and other people in the evidence-based community and what I would call the intellectual honesty community, is when you try to pacify or push off your beliefs, your unproven beliefs, as if they are founded and proven. That's, if you ask me, one of the big root causes of a lot of the confusion in pretty much every subject matter, but especially in our world of the fitness training realm, and why so many trainers come up to me and say they don't know who to believe and everything is conflicting. Well, not all information is created equal, and one of the first questions that you can ask is, do you have evidence for this? Stuff that has a solid foundation of evidence is you don't have to be as skeptical of it as other things. And if something is anecdotal, the person should have said that to you, and they should be very open, and it actually shouldn't demand you asking, hey, is this just your anecdotes? They should be open to me if they're intellectually honest. If they're not, hey, fine, just ask them, and then they should come out and say it. If not, then I would definitely say you have a reason to be highly skeptical.